now, but episode 3 of Big Mike and Little Ant show, quarantine edition, as you
Yeah.
guys see, which will probably be multiple episodes moving forward until we can get out these confines, I guess. But
In May.
yeah, happy to happy to have you guys watching our show and our channel. We look forward to adding more and more subscribers, as time goes on. So make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe after you watch this video. So you're still holding on to that, huh? The whole April thing.
Yeah, I'm holding on, and I'm riding this thing out to May 1st, So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, we're talking about, I said a long time ago that this whole quarantine, back then we wasn't even really being quarantined, but I said that everything would be back to normal before April ends. So I'm sticking to it. You seen
Sure.
New York and California had the first time they had their numbers dropped in people who was being their numbers dropped in should I use the term infected? I
Oh, I'm
guess
sorry.
that.
As you said that, I just got a thing. IRS is launching a website to check the status of the stimulus check. So
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I want mine. I mean, unemployment, I can't count on them. They still, when I went to unemployment today, it still says inactive. So my file is inactive. I filed again the other day, and it still says inactive. So so what I don't understand, it says if it says inactive, please try again. So I don't know if it's just saying check or file again. And I don't want to file again and make that slow me down, but I also don't understand them just saying check, try again. So I don't want to be messing myself up by trying to file again. So maybe
Yeah,
I
it says to read to IRS announced a launch of a new website that will allow people who don't have to pay taxes, such as lower incomes, veterans, and beneficiaries, to send the IRS info about where to mail or deposit their stimulus check. This news comes as to release to people. Okay, so that's not bad
yeah. Yeah, I'm not
information.
worried about it. My daughter, we was asking her when she filed, and she filed pretty early in February. She got her money back, her taxes back in February pretty early. So we was probably in the middle of February. I'm sure we'll probably get our check next week or 2 weeks. I'm not worried about it too much.
Yeah, you should be good. Yeah, you'll probably get a nice little penny between the you got a kid and everything there. So
Yeah, you
you'll be
figure I'll get 1,700. So
yeah. So that'll definitely help you out while you're still waiting on
yeah,
the
because if
unemployment situation.
unemployment, so that'll help me get to the point where hopefully unemployment kick in, then I'll be good.
Yeah, you'll be
You
Gucci
know?
after that. So
And somebody was telling me some companies are hiring people to work from home. So
right.
maybe I might start looking into that, you know.
Huh. That's interesting too.
So yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you got to have a new laptop, so you got a capability.
Yeah,
So
right. Yeah,
that
so
should be fine.
even that's
I'm
crazy.
praying.
I told you that laptop's still delayed, right? Well, that's the whole reason why I bought a new one, right?
Yeah, you told me. Yeah, which is
Yeah.
crazy. But now you
So
got a better one, right?
well, yeah, but I gotta pick it up on Monday. But even when I
Right.
check UPS, the laptop I was supposed to have on Wednesday, today's Friday, it still says they don't know when it's gonna be here. I'm like, what? It shows it's in New Jersey now. Like,
Wow.
it's crazy.
Crazy. So, what's been going on with you during this whole
All right,
at-home
so
quarantine time period?
well, I see you're still pretty much the Segway King because one of the topics we were gonna go over to was gonna be describe a normal day during the pandemic and what's our favorite part of the day. So since you asked me what I've been doing, this is what my day consists of. I wake up pretty early for a person who don't have a job, but I just wake up, I don't know, no later than 8, for the most part. I wake up, I look at my phone, I check my unemployment, um, and then I just start thinking of content. I just like I'll go on Facebook, check my memories, or I'll watch a YouTube video, and then I just have a bunch of back videos I'm supposed to be making that I haven't made yet. Like the Sonic video hit me because I was watching YouTube, and then it was like, now you could get Sonic on Blu-ray and on demand. I'm like, all right, I
Hmm.
need to put that video out. But yeah, the stuff we've been doing new is we usually don't really walk our dog. We got a big backyard, usually let her run crazy back there. But we've been walking the dog just to get out. Um, we like just to take little trips to the store, been kind of cool. Like, oh, I'm going to Walmart. Yesterday we actually went to Walmart and we wore our masks. So we're like, okay. And then today we seen they announced that you know, you should wear your mask. So we've been wearing our masks. But here's what's funny. One of the parts I look forward to in an average day, I would thought was video games because I'm a gamer. In a weird way, I don't play that much video games. I don't know what it is psychologically. I'll be in my bedroom forever and I'll eventually go out in the living room. Like I mainly stay in my room, probably sometimes like 5 o'clock. And I'm weird, man. I don't know. But I get excited just to get up and take a shower. It's weird. Like I feel like I'm just sitting there in the bed doing nothing. Like I might watch some shows with Sandy on my laptop and on Netflix, and then I just be like randomly get up and like I'm going to take a shower and shave my head. And like the other day I caught myself. We went to Walmart and I sprayed like cologne on myself just to go to Walmart just to feel like I'm getting out the house.
Yeah, I went to the doctor the other day and I like made sure my hair was straight and stuff like that. So I get it. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. So you don't sit and binge watch stuff, huh? You don't just kind of.
We have been for the Tiger thing. Like, well, here's the thing. Here's what's my wife. We watch everything together, right? But her job's real. Remember, she's still working, but from home, and her job is really demanding. So, she works for Division of Elections, and she gets calls all day because there's a big election coming in June. And oh, well, wait, they just moved it to June, so they like pushed the dates back. So she deals with every election, like in the state of New Jersey. So when we think of, usually say elections, people think of the presidency, and that's it. I used to think that way too, but it's like all these small elections that we don't even think about. So her phone's blowing up all day. I feel like she has no time for me. She's working, and I'm like doing nothing, so we can't really watch shows during the day. So and then she's been doing overtime. So it's like I don't watch shows without her. Remember, I'll be cheating.
Yes.
You know. So
see, now I thought it was if you guys started a show together,
right,
and if you watched it without her, you'd be cheating. But you mean in general you don't watch shows without her?
Yeah. I don't. So I actually don't have any shows I watch without her besides NXT, which is wrestling that comes on Wednesdays, and I'm a little behind on that. But other than that, there's not one show I watch without her. She actually watched a couple shows without me that I don't watch. So like she watched Orange is the New Black. A couple Netflix shows she watched, but like she asked me first, like, hey, I'm thinking about watching the show. Are you interested? I'm like, I don't care. So then, so
right. It's actually a pretty good show, Orange is the New Black. That was a great show. I like that show.
Yeah, I mean, there was times she was watching and I sat next to her and she'd be like, oh, and I'm hearing it and I'm like, what's going on? And she explained certain stuff to me and stuff, but I just didn't watch it with her. So what about
especially
you, man?
In the earlier seasons, like I really.
Okay, like now you got the whole thing.
Orange New Black? Yeah. I finished that a long time ago. Right. Yeah. I love that show.
So what's the average day like for Big Mike?
Well, I'm still working like your wife, like Sandy. So I try to get up a little earlier than my regular job starts, which is normally between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. Right. Take a walk around the neighborhood a little bit to get my steps in, which I count on my watch here.
Gotcha.
And then I come back and I work in my lunch break, which is 45 minutes. I take another walk opposite way around the neighborhood. I find a parts of the neighborhood I never knew existed too. It's like weird, but
that's cool.
I do that pretty much every day. Then I come back and I eat, finish up work, and find something to watch that night. Call people, check on my kids, family members, things of that nature, obviously. And I just, I'm really been heavy into more YouTube and more social media than I've ever been, actually, because I have more time to do it. I'm not really binge watching anything. I don't have the time, but I get up so late, I might watch a little bit of something. Actually, last night I did binge watch the last season of Ballers from HBO, actually. And that show is like Entourage, only 20-minute episodes. So I watched the whole season last night. It was 8 episodes. I watched it all last night, so it was pretty quick.
Now, is Entourage you said it was 6 seasons, right?
Entourage is it's like 6 or 7, one or the other. Yeah.
And every episode is 20 minutes?
Yeah, they're pretty.
Oh wow! So I really could get through it.
Because they show like a recap in the beginning,
Okay.
and then the show has like an opening, like a Game of Thrones type opening where it's like long,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
then the show, and then the end is like the credits. So really, the meat of the show is like 22 minutes, maybe, at the
Okay.
most. Yeah. So if you fast forward the opening song and the end credits, it's like 20 minutes or whatever. So
Wow. Yeah, I got to start watching it. So
yeah,
here's the question: what's your favorite part of your new day This new quarantine life we live. What's your favorite part of the day?
probably my afternoon walk. I like my afternoon walk, take
Cool.
different views. I'm normally on the phone. I'm talking to certain people, so I call talks on walks. So I just kind
Okay.
of
Okay.
take my thing, and I got my little headset on,
Talks
and
on
I'm,
the
I'm
walk.
walking, I'm talking, and catching up or whatever at the most. It's definitely a difference, but
Okay.
for me, I'm finding myself. I'm getting um I'm finding myself eating less. I'm walking more. So I'm actually like, it's funny because I started my weight loss journey before this all started, but
Right.
I haven't fell off. It's been continuing. So since February 1st, I've lost like 34 pounds now. So
Wow.
doing really good.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is for me too. Like I I've been like this year is probably one of the biggest years I've been slacking with working out. I think as I get older and older, I just get to the point where whatever, and then I tell myself, oh, the last 3 months before my birthday, let me try to get serious. But I've been really slacking, and this the whole quarantine thing is like I don't eat as much either. Like
Me
it's
neither.
weird. I stay in my bedroom like all day, and then I'll be
Yeah,
eating like once a day. And
yeah.
but I've been working out just a little bit. Like my son, I'll open the door and I'll see him working out with the little weights we have, and I'll be like, all right, let me do some stuff. And I feel like I'm slowly kind of getting back in shape without really doing too much, without like really putting my mind to it.
Yeah,
So
I
it's weird.
always ate less when I was not working than when
Okay.
I'm actually working. Like it's weird, Even if I was if we were out, I would be on the go, so I
Okay.
wouldn't be thinking about food. And even now, it's just like it's not like the same thing. It like
Right.
being in an office for me makes you kind of snack or eat more.
Right.
So
Yeah, I agree.
uh,
Yeah.
working out for me, pretty. I'm ahead of my pace where I wanted to be by now. So I'm um I'm pretty happy. So we'll keep updating you on my goals because
Yeah, that's
the
cool, man.
goals are there. So I wanted to lose about 12 pounds a month, which would have put me at 36 by May 1st. I'm already at 34 on
Wow.
April 10th. So I'm actually ahead of my pace right now, which is
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
which is pretty good.
yeah, well, I have my own like mentally. I mean, obviously my birthday's on Monday and today is what
I
Friday, so I don't have
know, old man.
time. But my birthday, I'll make my, I'm in my head. I got a couple things I want to do. So one, I'm gonna pick up my new laptop on my birthday. Hopefully it's there. They don't say like, oh, it didn't come in, whatever. So I'm pick up my new laptop. Um, for my birthday, we're probably gonna do which is weird. I always go to dinner, but we're probably gonna do like takeout. And I really like Big Fish Grill so much. So there's one in New Jersey, but it's all the way in Flemington. So it's funny. The one we went to is in Delaware, but Flemington, Delaware, and from where I live at, it might just be the same distance. But maybe we'll
Yeah.
drive out to Flemington. We'll see and look and see if they have takeout. And so we'll go there. We'll order and go there, and I might just eat my birthday dinner and sitting in the car or something. I don't know, something weird, man.
I used to work in Flemington actually.
Oh,
It's
did you?
funny. Yeah, like it was crazy because I worked at this cell phone store back in the day. I won't
Okay,
say the name of the company because it's a major company, but
right.
worked at a cell phone store, and the guy who owned the location, he had several locations,
Hmm.
and he made me so mad because I worked at for the same carrier but a different owner in
Okay,
Ewing, which is not too far, which is fine from where I lived at the time. And then that guy kind of poached me, and I moved to his um, company, which was in Morrisville, still right over the bridge,
right.
straight right there for me, good. And then he said, "Well, I got to send you out to our Ewing, I'm sorry, our Flemington location. And unfortunately, if you want to work here, you got to go out there." I'm like, "Y'all was working in Ewing, now I work for you. I got to go to Flemington." And it was
Right.
such a far. There's like nothing in Flemington. It's like cows and
Yeah.
freaking forest, not forest, farms and stuff like that. Actually, a lot of cell towers they put out there in Flemington, and they basically tell the farmers like, "We'll give you $75,000 to put a tower on your farm."
Right.
and stuff like that, and they'll like take the money. So, but I did find some good food in Flemington, but it was just a
Cool.
crazy, crazy
Yeah, that's
time.
where
So,
actually that's where I was buying all my recent cars. I bought from the Kia dealership. I want to say we bought 4 cars from them in like the space of maybe 3 years, something crazy. So I was real familiar with that part of Flemington on that main whatever that main road is, you know.
yeah,
But
and it's weird because Flemington is not a very diverse town when it comes to races and
okay,
stuff like that. Like I'm not saying they're racist, but they're not
right,
very diverse as far as the amount of people their population. So I
right,
would go to the gym after work out there. I remember because I was going with the guy I work with when we work out together. And you know, if you went to the gym like after work, after 5, 6,
right,
7 o'clock, it's packed.
right.
You know, 100, 200 people in there, and I was the only black person in there. And
Oh
I
wow.
remember just walking in there like, you know, like this is a little
Like
awkward.
hold on.
Not saying I was, I was okay, but just being the only one out of 200 people just
Right.
felt weird at the time and whatnot. So
Wow.
a little bit.
Well, hold on. Let me get a little extra comfortable, man.
Oh, here we go. Ray, he doing that for you, Ray. Talking about
Uh-huh.
it's below. But that's what my boy Ray, he doing that for him. Mr.
Yeah,
Illmatic,
Ray.
1983.
Listen, Ray, I gotta get comfortable, brother. You know?
Hey,
All right.
I like the chair too. And
Yeah,
I did
man.
watch your gaming. I still think you put a cheat code on to win so many times in Tekken, but
Listen, man. Tekken was my thing, man. I'm telling you, I was playing Tekken since part 1. We used to call it the
right,
dungeon. That's when we practiced. So the game would come out, like, yo, we gotta go to the dungeon. And none of us would play each other because we went to the quote unquote dungeon, which is us practicing for like a week with your favorite characters. And I'm talking about this is how we practice. We pulled out the move list, we pulled out a piece of paper, and we wrote down the move, and then we did the move. And what you would do is you would make sure, you know what, I like this move. It might take a lot of energy off, but if it's too hard of a move to pull off, the probability of me getting killed using this move, yeah, I'm not going to do it. So you'll commit the memory, the moves that you feel make you the best with your character. And that's just what we did. And every single Tekken, I mean, we won Tekken tournaments. Like the last huge Tekken tournament they had, I won. I'm very proud of that because my brother won a couple in a row. And then when I dethroned him, it was so many people at the store that day. We used to go to the store. My buddy and I, like I said, we drove all the way out to Connecticut to be a part of Evo in a Tekken tournament. That's how like much we was into Tekken. But you know, I mean, I'm not on that level. Like we went and we got destroyed, but just feeling like we was that good locally, we want to see how we would do against people because that's like before the internet. That's before you was playing people online.
yeah,
If I play people online,
yeah.
they'd just destroy me. But again, I don't really play
Tekken
Tekken that much.
2,
What'd you say?
Tekken 2 and Tekken 3 were the games back in the day. I
Yeah,
remember those. Tekken 2 and 3 were the games back in the day. I remember those actually. That's when I was playing games still.
yeah.
So
I was a little
they were
mad with
good
Tekken
stuff.
3 because that's when they got rid of Kazuya and he was my favorite character. So that's when I got into using Lei Wulong. But
Well, was he the drunk dude or no?
yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I got real
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, and
So
I never played with it. I remember they had Tekken Tag or something like that. I never
yeah,
played that actually. So
Tekken Tag was
yeah,
good
yeah,
because
yeah.
it had one of the biggest rosters at the time. It had like everybody from every Tekken. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Wow.
They even made a Tekken Tag 2. That came out a couple years
Oh,
ago.
did they?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
this
right.
one is
All
cool because
right.
they
That's
have
cool.
guest characters in it. Like they got Akuma from Street Fighter, they got Negan from Walking Dead, and on his stage is where he killed Glenn. And his special move is like as if you're Glenn. So he's walking up to you, he grabbed the bat, and they show you looking up to him, and you're like blinking your eyes, and you're all dizzy, and he just take the bat and just, yo, it's pretty crazy.
That's crazy,
Oh, spoiler
bro.
alert for anybody who didn't know Negan killed Glenn in The Walking Dead. Sorry.
That's what he does. He spoils things, people. No, I'm joking. He doesn't. He doesn't spoil
I try not
things.
to. So listen,
Yeah.
speaking of TV shows, we can segue into our next thing, which is movies. Now you know you and I, we love movies. So I was thinking, let's just talk briefly about what's our favorite sequel. Because I was thinking about it, I was like, I don't think I ever talked to Mike about what movie is my favorite sequel. And when I tell you, you're gonna be like, what? Out of all the sequels? But I have reasons to back this up.
Okay. I want to
So,
hear it in your reasons. Go ahead.
all right.
And I'll tell you
So
mine.
crazy enough, out of every movie I've ever seen in my life, out of every part two, every sequel, my favorite sequel is Final Destination Part Two.
Ah, that's actually pretty good though. That
And
was a good one.
now you know why it was so good? Because the creative mind of that movie was brilliant. For instance, they end up telling this first of all, that scene in the beginning where everybody get killed on like I not whatever on the highway. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy. When you look into it, it said I think they said it took them 11 days to film that scene. It was crazy. All the anyway.
Wait, didn't the guy from part one finally die in part? He died in part two right early, right?
Um no, I thought he died at the very end of part one. I think at the end of part one, just that girl lived, right?
Okay, maybe you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the important part, here's the super important part, is that everybody from part two that was supposed to die in the beginning end up not dying. And you find out that every single person in part two in the beginning that didn't die was originally supposed to die before everybody in part one. And
Right.
every person had a story. Like the one teacher that ended up dying in part one, where the knife fell, she fell on the ground and the knife fell and stabbed her. The one black dude, he
Yeah.
was telling the story how I think he used to be from a different world, and he was telling the story how yeah he was a teacher and he ended up becoming a substitute teacher because this one teacher died. Like it was like everybody's story technically was supposed to put them death was supposed to get them first, but the other
Right.
person ended up it was like, and everybody had an intricate story of how they was supposed to die but they didn't. And then you remember part one, like, oh snap, when he died that person was supposed to be there but something happened and stopped them from being where that person was at. Crazy.
Yeah.
And that's why
Actually,
I to this day, like, yeah, there could be a really good sequel. Oh yeah, man, that was Empire Strikes Back. I'm sure people are gonna say that, right? That was amazing. But to have like I don't know what 8 or 9 characters and all of these stories intertwined with people from the first part.
yeah. You know what's funny? I should have put that series in my best franchises on another show we did because I
Right.
love that series. All 4 movies actually.
Yeah.
I think they're great. Um, part 4 was crazy how they went back before part 1. I thought that
Right.
was pretty dope actually.
Right.
And then at the end, it talks about there's about to be this plane or something like that. It was like the intertwined, right? It was
Yeah.
so dope. I was like, I
Yeah.
thought that was a pretty amazing and
Yeah.
whatnot. So
They're remaking that.
are they?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a reboot or remake or however they're gonna, nowadays, however they're gonna term it. But yeah, they're doing it over. I was reading that not
Yeah.
too long ago.
I didn't like part 3 with the roller coaster. I thought that was kind of whack
Okay,
actually.
yeah, yeah, yeah. A
And
lot
the
of people
whole
don't like the one with the race car track.
race car track.
Yeah, remember in the
Yeah, the tire. Yeah, the tires. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. That was crazy. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I was a big fan, and a lot of some. Well, I mean, they got a little corny as it went on, but I was a big fan of that.
Me too, man. Like this. Remember the trailer and the scene, the first one where he's going down the hill. He stops before he hits the tree branch
Oh
because
yeah,
Yeah. Oh my God, that was such a dope trailer right there, bro. Like if I can go
I
back
gotta
and
I gotta look that up.
yeah,
Just to
and he
recap.
like he's rolling. He actually stops himself, and it was like a tree ran right in his face, like death was about to kill him again and whatnot. It
Okay,
was so
got you.
dope. So yeah,
Yeah.
um, that's a great one. Mine is it's obvious, but it's the ultimate sequel. Like there's no sequel ever been better than this
Yeah.
one, coming off the first movie, and it just took what was a great first movie and it took it up to 30 levels, and that's Terminator 2. I'm
Oh
sorry, like
wow.
that's I, I don't know how I don't know a sequel that took what you loved from part one,
Okay.
and when part two came out, it exceeded expectations and beyond. Like,
Right.
oh my God. Like Terminator 2 is one of the best movies of all time, one of the best, you know, action movies of all time.
Right.
But for it to be a sequel, it's like, crazy, because most sequels have a hard time beating the first. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
so that's why I think, and the special effect, and he waited 8 years, James Cameron, and special effects from, first of all, it was before its time, Terminator 2. Let's talk about that. And
Right.
special effects was this was 1992. If you watch that now, it still looks pretty decent. But it was like at least 10 years before its time, I would say, with the whole T-1000, how he was reforming from liquid metal and stuff
Right.
like
Right.
that. To take the evil, scary Arnold from part one and make him the good guy in part two,
Yeah.
nobody's seen that coming.
Yeah. That
You
that
know,
was really I guess that had to take a lot of like, will this work? Like
yeah,
people like, how are we gonna just flip it like that? But yeah, that was brilliant.
because he was so menacing in part one,
Right.
and so scary and whatnot. Reach out the whole police station and whatnot, was crazy.
Right.
And to make him the good guy in part two. And then to make Sarah Connor, who was this damsel in distress in part one, this tough chick in part two, with the same actress, which was dope to me because she sold it both ways. Like
Right.
when she was a damsel, she did, she could tell when she was, all tough and, shooting guns. She was good either way. So it was like, I thought that was pretty dope too. And they had the same doctor, the psychologist in both
Right.
movies too. So the bald dude or whatever. So and then he saw both Arnold. So the second time, he was like terrified because he remember
Right.
the first Arnold.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty dope. So Terminator 2 to me is the ultimate sequel. It does everything, but it switches it up a little bit.
Right.
Sometimes sequels they follow the same formula.
Right.
So it makes it like, all right, I saw this coming.
Yeah.
Terminator 2, you saw nothing coming really. And I thought that's what made it, the best sequel to me of all time.
Man, that I can't argue with you. That is 100% factual, and it aligns with I'm in alignment with you. Yeah, man. That was definitely, I didn't even think of that, but yeah, coming off of how big of a movie Terminator 1 was, the first of its kind, the whole, Skynet, what is a Terminator? Coming up with a whole new lore, a whole new thing,
Right.
and then you just supersede it with part two. Yeah, that was a good one, man. Now, let me steal a little.
It holds up too. I can watch that movie right now and watch
Right.
the whole thing. Like it holds up. That's what I love about movies in general.
Right.
If they can hold up the test of time,
Right.
it will tell me if a movie is good or not. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's why I'm big into the entertainment factor, because sometimes when it's like this deep story, right? Sometimes I get a little lost, like, okay, I'm sitting there. But for me, like if a movie is kind of is primarily the entertainment part is big for me. So it's like my buddy was a little annoyed with me. A bunch of people was annoyed with me a little bit because of my Sonic review, right? And people was like, "What do you mean the
Really?
story?" And I was like, because I was big. I said the story was silly to me. So people was like, "Oh, it's a kids
Right.
movie, number one." And then so many people, I was like, "No, it wasn't a kids movie. It was anybody movie." And somebody was like, "Oh, and even Sandy was like, oh, it's a car. It's based off of a video game character. What did you expect?"
Yeah.
But again, I'm not saying that's taken away from the movie. I'm just saying that. And here's the cool thing is, I thought it was really good. I'll watch it again. I recommend people watch it because it was so entertaining from start to finish. I was either laughing, I was even on the edge of my seat. So for me, that's why a movie, it just has to have a level of entertainment for me to actually like it that much where I could watch it back. And Terminator 2, definitely, like, who can't sit through that movie again, man? Because that was like a ride.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it don't matter how many years pass. Like
Yeah.
that. I mean,
because
it's,
it follows the formula for me. Remember, I said a perfect formula for me, and I always go back to Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme. So if we just use Terminator, you have the really good like hero, right? And we're gonna use Arnold.
right.
We're gonna use him because he was a bad guy. Coming off being a bad guy, now you're like the antagonist, right? Or the protagonist, right? And then you got this super new the new model that could turn to like liquid. You're like, how are you gonna beat him? And you like that's a perfect formula for a great movie. And then in the end, he overcomes, and then you feel everything else in the middle. It's like that was a great meal, man.
Yeah, that's almost a perfect movie to me. Like
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
find a flaw. I can't find a flaw in Terminator 2, and
Now
that's
let
why it
me
was
ask you a
my.
question. Would it be that good of a movie if it was the first movie? That's the question. Because I think it's really good because he was once the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that twist is just like bravo. So
I think I agree with you. I think the twist is bravo. I think it makes it better, and I also think showing Sarah's growth from being a scared young girl
right,
to now a mom who's like kind of been on the run and now then got military training now. I think
right,
that growth makes it good too because it's time has passed. The kid's like 12 or 13 in the movie, so
right.
I think it's dope. At that
That's
particular
cool.
time. So
So let's
and for you, I know you liked it too because unlike Terminator, where John was just a regular dude, they sent him back to the past. He was a regular dude fighting against Terminator,
right.
but it was more even with the Terminator versus T-1000.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You have
Yeah,
that good guy and that bad guy, and they're pretty much neck and neck, but the bad guy is just a step ahead of him. So it's kind of like this dude is super, he's more super. How is he gonna even beat him? And then they put it together, and in the end, they prevail, even though what happened
yeah.
to Terminator. But
But when I go back to the first one, John is a regular ass dude, so I'm like, I'm happy he helped, but
right,
really, like, he should have had no chance versus Terminator. To be honest with you,
right, yeah.
you know,
So let's use this as a segue. I know I put this a little bit down on the list, but we might as well put it up on the
it
list.
doesn't matter.
And I just want to say, sorry about this, Darren. Give a shout out to my boy, but I totally stole this from his Facebook page. But dude, if we had to get rid of one person's whole body of work, like they never existed. Man, who do we pick? Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger? And I don't even know.
Oh man,
I don't know, man. I don't know. So, how do you start off on this? I think I lost you.
no, I'm coming back. Are you here? Can you see
Yeah,
me?
yeah, I'm still here. Still here.
All right, we'll keep that in. But is it tough for you?
It's really tough for me, man. Honestly, I told myself earlier. So me and Sandy had a little bit of like, she was like, "Oh, I'll pick Stallone," and you can't get rid of Rockies. Obviously, she lived in Philly for a long time. I said, "Dude, you would get rid of one of my personal favorite series is The Predator. So you would get rid of you would be losing The Predator and Terminators, one of the biggest franchises of movies, like or special franchises of movies. I'll say like these two iconic characters." But at the same time, yo, who's bigger than Rocky? Rambo. So
Well, it really goes down. It really goes down to that, right? At the end, like the franchises. So,
yeah.
Terminator versus Rocky. Really, at the end of the day, I'm taking Rocky, bro. I'm sorry.
Well, hold up. So you could do Terminator versus Rocky. You could do Rambo versus Predator.
He was only a Predator 1, though. He wasn't a Predator 2.
No, but I'm saying he started off. What I'm saying is that movie started off with him as a star and it became a franchise. Regardless if he was ever back in them, I feel like what he spawned went on. Like for instance, if you think of the Terminator, right? They put the Terminator in video games and and it's not even his likenesses. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I feel like that him like he being iconic in the Terminator and what it started. I feel like you can't I don't
You know
know.
what's weird? I'm such a big movie and
Okay.
fan of movie and TV and stuff like that. So I watch these GQ sometimes. They do these
Okay.
like these interviews, and the actor it's like an actor's profile or something like that. But anyway, they go through almost all the roles they've done,
Okay.
and they talk about the roles. They talk about like how they got like behind the scenes of how they got the role,
Okay.
certain lines in the movie they didn't want in there, just a lot of different things. So and what the role meant to them. So I watch this stuff all the freaking time. Like
Okay.
you should watch me. Anyway, I watched Arnold recently.
Hmm.
So which was which was pretty dope and whatnot. And going all the way back, I forgot he was what was it? Not Hercules, but
Conan.
Conan. Yeah, he was Conan and stuff like that.
Huge or movies.
Yeah, huge movie. He and then he did some softer stuff, Kindergarten Cop and stuff like that.
Right.
I forgot about that. I used to like the one with his mom. Well, no, that was Stallone. I was actually Stallone actually with the mom. Stop My Mom Will Shoot, actually. That was Stallone. But then True Lies is so good, man. Like,
I mean,
that's one of,
everything you're saying, think about it, right? So how many big movies did Stallone have? I don't think he had more big movies, big roles as Schwarzenegger, man.
however, Rocky won an Oscar though, so you got to give him. And he wrote Rocky.
Oh no, Oscar. Oh
I'm just
man.
saying, you got to add that to it. You got to add that to it.
I hear you.
But Stallone, see Rambo. I just watched the recent Rambo. It was pretty good. Like Rambo's still going on.
Right. I still didn't see
And
that.
Rocky now has Creed. When Rocky's in Creed, like it's tough, man.
Right.
That situation.
Yeah, but think about do this then. Tell me like the big movies that like was a big deal that he was in besides Rambo and Rocky.
Those are the biggest ones: the Rambo series and the Rocky series, and then the most recent Expendable series. But
Okay.
yeah,
I
Expendable
don't think
series.
Expendables. You know what? Though? I don't think everybody took Expendables as I loved it,
Me
but
too.
I love you take. You know, it felt like an '80s action movie. You know, you take all
Yeah,
these people, throw them into one thing, but I feel like the regular world's reception of that wasn't great. But I was
yeah,
big on it. So
yeah. Then he had a UFC fight in almost every movie, I think, or something like that. And
yeah,
a
I
few
mean
of them.
wrestlers. Yeah. You
Yeah,
know, when
wrestlers
Stone
too.
Cold was in part one, I was like, Stone Cold.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
was cool.
definitely.
And then
Boxers, all types of stuff.
my boy Van Damme was in the last one. Like, come on, man.
Oh yeah. I gotta watch those again. Actually, I got a story about that. I'll tell you off camera another time. But
Gotcha.
um, and but then one of my favorite all-time movies, right,
Mhm.
is Tango and Cash with Stallone.
Agreed.
That to me,
Agreed.
that's in like my top 100 movies. Period. Like
Agreed.
I love Tango. I've seen that movie so many times growing up, and
Yeah,
then being an adult too. Like it's just that's one of those movies to me. It's like almost perfect too. Like it's
I
just. I
agree.
mean, I'm just, a lot of flaws. I'm sure you could pick out as a
Oh
movie
yeah.
or whatever, but it just was the buddy cop dynamic between those two, and he played like the almost a square one Stallone.
Right.
Right, you know what I mean? So that's one of my favorite ones. So uh, Terminator would be hard, but Rocky 3 and Rocky 4 are just so
So
good, man.
as I'm talking to you, I made my decision.
All right.
Here's my thing. I am always gonna side with some type of sci-fi, some type of
Yeah,
creature,
that makes more
and
sense.
I am a big like Predator when it came out, just like sci-fi wise, that just like man, let me just say, Predator is one of the coolest things from the comic books to the video games, to the new game that comes out April 24th that I will be getting day one, that I was streaming because PlayStation had it came out for free for the weekend. So a couple
Okay.
weeks ago. Yeah, just the Terminator, the Predator, like that. Those two alone is like the sci-fi of it. Like Rocky is cool and Rambo is cool, but they're based in the real world, whereas Terminator and Predator are two sci-fi, out of this world type stuff. And so I'm gonna have to side. I couldn't see the world not have the Predator in it. I'm not that big of a fan of Terminator. Like Terminator is cool, but I can't see the world not having those two huge sci-fi franchises. I couldn't live without knowing the
He also had
Predator.
he did the Running Man, which was pretty dope. I
True.
thought. Schwarzenegger. He did a few, and he also did Total
Total
Recall,
Recall.
also
Yo,
sci-fi.
his body
Original,
will work. His body will work, man.
original Total Recall, not the new Colin Farrell one. The
Yeah.
original Total Recall,
Yeah,
which
I
is
like
much
the
better.
original better actually. Me and Sandy did is we watched the original and then we went to the movies that same day and watched the new one. And
Okay.
we liked the original better.
Yeah. You're right. But see, for me, I don't I don't kind of connect him with the Predator franchise. He's only in the
Okay,
first movie.
got you.
And then you have my man Danny Glover, who was too old for that in the second movie, which
Right.
was weird. That was such a weird switch. Arnold Schwarzenegger to Danny Glover.
You know
Such
what's
a weird switch.
crazy? I know so many people that part 2 was their favorite. I'm like, how?
Right. Like part 1 had Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed.
Yes, sir.
It was like a whole team of like commandos. That made more sense.
Yeah.
They're like a detective, freaking Danny Glover. Like that was just weird.
Yeah, regular dude. Like
Regular dude. So but again, man, I don't think the world can live. I can't live without Rocky.
Right.
Rocky, you know why? Because Rockies are so quotable and stuff like that. And they still kind of stick in our lore today. And the music, Eye of the Tiger.
Oh man, right. Yeah. Listen, how many times have you had to say, if he dies, he dies?
Right. Recently, we're talking about the throw the damn towel when Apollo Creed got killed and whatnot.
Because Mickey loves you.
And they got a whole thing on the internet talking about Rocky's the reason why Creed died because he didn't throw the towel. So it's like a back and forth about this.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So, yeah, even though Creed told him don't throw the towel. So I just think this that's unfaithful. Rambo is not actually my favorite, stuff like that.
Right.
Actually, in the beginning, I don't think Stallone was a great actor, and I just think that kind of he was like one-dimensional character, just kind of like shooting up the place in the beginning. Now he's got more, more layers. But at that time, but again, I told you, man, Tango and Cash. I like Stop My Mom Will Shoot when that came out. And over to the Expendables. I mean, if I had to choose one, only because of the Rocky, I think slightly edges out.
Here's what I'm just gonna get into this a little teeny bit. So here's what I noticed with you, Mike, and I realized you tried to switch up when we was on our other show, Mental Theater. So when we talk about movies and trilogies and franchises, notice myself, like you and Josh, right? We'll put him out there, Josh, Mr. Josh Waring, if you're watching. What's up, man? You guys have noticed you often have the same movies. Yeah, go for the this movie made so much money. This movie had all the best actors. This movie won 13 awards. This movie was nominated for 100 awards. I'll pick stuff that's like you like, oh man, that's right, because I'm not going off of oh man, it won this and won that. You guys are so generic because you picking the top movies. Like
you just said Terminator. You know how much money Terminator made? What are you talking about, bro? And Predator. These are huge top movies, both of them.
I know, but what I'm saying is you're going with Rocky because it was a or it won an award.
That's not why. Rocky won the Oscar. I said Rocky 3 and 4 I couldn't go without. Rocky 3 when he fought Mr. T and Hulk Hogan, Thunder Lips, if you remember that one, actually. Yeah. And Rocky 4 when he fought Dolph Lundgren's character and whatnot.
It even shocks me that you end up saying you like Final Destination. Because I'm thinking you're gonna be like,
I love Final Destination, bro.
That was never nominated for anything.
That's not who I am, bro.
Well, that's how I feel, man.
Just because I know stuff is nominated when it is doesn't mean that's all I like. Not to mention, if you go back and watch the last Mental Theater, you and I had about 2 or 3 of the same on our list. By the way.
No. All right, so I was glad you said that, because the one before that, when I named all my stuff, y'all was like, oh, that's interesting. You added that. So then you put it out in the beginning of the last episode. You was like, I'm going to go a little different this time and try to switch it up. Yeah, because you would have had everything on Josh's list. Y'all would have had all the same movies.
You don't know what I would have had. What you do know.
Well, listen, I've been a fan of the show before I was on the show. And I know you and Josh usually pick the top. Oh, Star Wars, man. Star Wars. Because this, just saying.
I literally said, Ross said Police Academy. Literally.
Yeah, you know why? Because the show before that, I said Police Academy.
That's not why, bro, at all. I always like, what are you turning around for? Where are you going? I always like Police Academy. I think you have me twisted, man. This is why I'm the movie king and you're not.
No, because you're the generic movie king.
Not.
You like all this stuff that people can't argue with you on. Like if somebody be like, nah, if people go argue with me all day, like what? You like the never ending story? Who even seen that? You'll be like, Rocky. You can't argue. Be like, all right, bro, you're right.
You just said Predator and Terminator. Those are clear movies that everybody's seen, big blockbusters.
No, here's
Like,
what they are. Those Rocky, everybody's seen it, everybody loved it. Predator and Terminator, you got to be in a little neat category because of sci-fi. Not everybody's into sci-fi. You're gonna have a lot of people that say, I don't know. I mean, I heard about Predator and I heard about Terminator, but everybody's like Rocky. Come on, man.
that's because it had a song that was commercial. But Terminator, everybody's seen Terminator 2, bro. I'm sorry, I can't give you that. Like,
I won't say everybody, but
now, Running
my,
Man,
my
yeah. Total
grandma.
Recall, yeah.
Listen, my grandma, God bless her soul, she knew who Rocky was. She didn't know who the Terminator was. Just saying.
But again, I like all those movies that all of them are naming, but Rocky,
Right.
I think that again, it's so I've used so many jokes from Rocky. I'm not talking about the movie itself, just memes and jokes and
I got it.
so
Yeah.
it's just like
It's
you said, if he
iconic.
dies,
It's
he
iconic.
dies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Any last words? Pain from Mr. T, stuff like
Right.
that, or shut up, old man, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just love a lot of stuff from the Rockies, stuff like that. Not even Rocky. I don't think Rocky 2 is that good. I think it's kind of trash to me, to be honest with you.
Right.
But I think 3 and 4 just it's just and they're so 80s too. And I see, even though I was born mid 80s,
Right.
I love 80s nostalgia, bro. Like more than anybody would even know.
That's
and
cool.
and like Rocky 3 and 4 are so mid 80s. The songs in the movies, the outfits, the
Yeah, I
aviator
don't think
glasses, the
I
cars,
think
all of
one
it.
of the talk about a soundtrack is Rocky 4, man.
Yeah.
Rocky 4 was like amazing. Like with him working out and just the fact when he's working out, he's in the gym and Drago's running like in the training like, oh wait, no, Drago was in the gym. My bad. Drago was in the gym. Rocky's training in the wherever he was at and out in the cold and the snow.
Yeah.
And it was just like that music. That's 80s rock right there, man.
Yeah, it's just so 80s, man. I'm a huge 80s fan. Remember my list from the was Back to the Future, Police Academy.
Right.
I was such an 80s fan. It's crazy, like I was born while they were coming out. However, I love those movies and I love that whole time period. So listen, it was good. We're opposite. I'm taking Sly. You're taking Schwarzenegger. So
Got you. Yeah. Can't
cool,
listen.
man.
How could you not have Conan in your life? Like what? That was
He was horrible on
Conan was such a big. That's a shame you said that, young man.
I'm
Conan was such a big deal, man, when it came out. Oh man.
Yeah, but if you go back and watch, like he was only like 2 or 3 years from still doing like bodybuilding stuff. His acting chops wasn't there yet.
Yeah, but I think what's not fair is again, some people live off nostalgia, right? But I was there like when it came out. So at the time, it was just such a big deal. Number one, acting wasn't great anyway, right? Like that was in the era of like action movies. So like it was such a huge deal. So if you watch it later on without the buzz, you could really dissect it and be like, I don't know, he wasn't that good at acting, this and that. But at the time, it's like, oh man, it was such
I can imagine that. I sometimes wish that I was a certain age at certain times, just so I could have had the buzz on top. Like if I was being born, today, let's say 20 years from now, I would have loved I would love if I was born when Endgame came out to see the buzz from Avengers Endgame. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Even though I can still go back and watch the movie, I won't get the buzz feeling. So.
Here's perfect what I was thinking about. I went to pick up my daughter today. Oh no, drop her off. We're driving in the car and her music comes on, right? The nowadays music. And I'm listening, I'm like, but she's like, what are you talking about? This is good. So it's same thing. If I was like I don't appreciate, or I don't appreciate, I'm not into as much as she is into her music because I have my own music. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just different. And I feel like I'm older, so I'm looking at it like I could dissect it and feel like, this is not good to me. But for her, it's like, dude, this is in her time. This is her stuff. So it's like to switch it around. Conan was such a big deal when I was little. And for you, it's kind of like you're looking, your stuff that was like current is got way better special effects, way better acting. You can look at like, what is this garbage? And somebody,
I think it's that part. I think it's just I missed the buzz of oh my God, there's a Conan movie coming out, and that's
Right.
probably gonna be dope and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where like even now, right? You can go back and you kind of did it on your Sonic review. You went back and talked
Right.
about some of the things Michael Bay
Right.
did on
Right.
Transformers, which at the time though, it was just, oh my God, the Transformers movie's coming out,
Right.
and most people didn't even notice some of the stuff you said today and
Right.
whatnot because
Yeah.
it's like, Optimus Prime was in real life. That's all we cared about,
Right.
not the fact that
Yeah. We.
it was
Yeah.
choppy or it was 100,000 pieces and all type of
Right.
stuff and whatnot. So it's just different when you have it coming out to going back and looking at it, another
Yeah.
time. Stuff like
That's
that.
true.
Like that put me on game. I didn't even think about that from Transformers until I watched that review.
Yeah.
And whatnot. So.
Yeah. Because I always thought about it. So whenever like I know I'm big entertainment, whatever. But if I'm really like something, that's when I'm real critical about it. And so Transformers, the way they look bothered me so much. But I was happy. Again, I love ambition. I was happy somebody did it. As a kid, like, yo, when are we getting a live action Transformers? So he pulled it off. Did I like when they transformed? It was like a billion pieces. I'm like, what? They didn't have to do all that. But you know what? You did it, man. And I got to give you that A for effort. But years later, I'm still able to say, like, it still bothered me. But I get what was happening with the Sonic. They was making Sonic and they was like, yo, let's make him look realistic. That's probably what he would look like, some little creepy looking creature. And the whole world was like, dude, that just doesn't look good. And so, $5 million later. But,
Right. Yeah, for me, I actually like Sonic, but that's not.
yeah.
Neither
No,
here nor
no. Again, I said I liked it. I just felt the story was silly. I felt the story wasn't good. That's my whole thing. I feel like with the creative people, they could have came up with a better story. And maybe it's this. Maybe it's just the comedic elements was really silly. Like Marvel, they have a lot of comedy, but the Sonic stuff was just really, really comedy. And so I guess maybe they want to fit all the audiences. Like, hey, let's make jokes that kids are just gonna be cracking up. I mean, I laugh, but I like him being in the bar and throwing all the darts and whatever, and the lady, like, that would have been cool, but then the lady standing there, she got all the beers she holding, they all spilling water out. I feel like that extra cheesiness was probably for kids.
Let me ask you this, since you're a video game player,
right,
and an avid movie watcher, so Sonic was pretty much the biggest video game to movies, blockbuster wise, ever, as far as making money wise, stuff like that. Why do you think?
Was it?
Yeah, it made the most money in any video game, like to movie ever made. Why do you think video games to movies, just because you're a video game player,
right,
like don't do it very well in the box office?
Number one reason. I feel like, and this, just think of Transformers. Michael Bay directed Transformers, which did really well, and he went on record to say he was not a fan. I feel like the people who I feel like people see video games, right? And they say, hey, we can make money off of this, so let's make a movie. And I feel like people don't, like the Resident Evil franchise. Let's take that for instance, right? They didn't follow nothing. All they did was take characters and made a movie. Like, man, it was just so much stuff that wasn't followed. I think video game movies don't do good because they probably should be more of a series on like TV or something than a movie. You're trying to put so much into
like The Witcher. Just did,
yes,
right?
like The Witcher.
What?
The Witcher was really good because they gave it episodes and time.
Right.
And so you're trying to take all this lore and put it into a 2-hour movie. And I feel like even bigger than that, I feel like the people who are directing this or writing the scripts, I feel like they probably aren't fans because some, like Resident Evil, it made no sense for again, it was a big franchise. They had 7 movies, but it made no sense for them not to follow like anything. Like if you played Resident Evil Part 1 and you watched the movie Part 1, it just was so like not following. It was just so much like it took the core of what happened and just said, this was pretty much what happened, and we're just gonna add everything else in there. You're like, wait, what? First of all, who's the main character?
Right.
She wasn't even in Resident Evil. Like, who is this?
So same thing with like the Tomb Raiders of the world and all the rest of them, stuff like that.
So Tomb Raider, I'll be honest, perfect segue, or not segue, but I was back when Tomb Raider came out, Resident Evil came out, and Tomb Raider came out. and you had a war. And back then, you put your feet in the sand. You was either on Resident Evil side or Tomb Raider, and I chose to be Resident Evil. So the funny thing is, I literally never seen the Tomb Raider movies.
Okay.
I only played Tomb Raider Part 1, and then when they remade them, and I played the first one of that. So I need to go back and watch them because I heard they was pretty good, but I didn't watch them. And having Angelina Jolie, you will figure maybe I should have checked them out.
I remember, to your point, I remember like when I was a big gamer, going back to like, you know, the Mortal Kombat movie, which was, you know, the Street Fighter movie was the worst thing ever made. Street Fighter, you know,
again, it's just like, what are y'all doing? How do you got Jean-Claude Van Damme, who has an accent, playing an American character?
American Army soldier.
Thank you. It's ridiculous. Like they just wanted the money. It was a cash grab. Dude, we can take this script and just somebody had to have said, I don't think he should be that character. But at the time, it's like Jean-Claude Van Damme was real popular. He's going to make money. Just do it anyway.
But then the irony, they had a black American dude playing a DJ, like Jamaican guy, and putting on a fake accent. Why not just get a Jamaican dude? Like I don't understand. It makes no sense.
And you preach it to the choir, brother, because like even in Mortal Kombat, I feel like, so here we go again. Mortal Kombat was the most talked about video game when it came out because it was so violent, right? And they just made sure we got to make the money, so we're gonna put out a Mortal Kombat movie that's PG, so all the kids can see it. Now, granted, at the age, I don't know how old I was, but maybe I wouldn't have been able to go to movies. But damn it, I would have found a way. But it's like, yo, you sucked out of it the essence of the, like.
Well, I was confused because they made Johnny and Sonya the main character. I'm like, what are the main characters in the game? Like, they confused me all the time. I was like, I feel like they were like the least picked characters in the game, but they were the main characters in the movie.
Right.
So I feel like that was a problem for people too.
Well, Liu Kang was a main character as well, and he is the main character. He was originally like the main character, so I give him credit because it did kind of follow Liu Kang a lot, you know. So
yeah, it did, but I feel like Johnny was very strong in that movie, and I feel like he wasn't.
Well, I would be very interested to see the remake because we're working on that.
It's coming. Yeah, it's coming. So we'll see. But I agree. Even as a strong game player, and not even a huge movie, you know, I'm a movie fan, but I couldn't pick them apart like I do now.
Right.
Like I thought that was a bad movie, you know, that and Street Fighter. So
you know what? Sonic probably is the. Let me. I gotta think about this. Sonic, out of all video game movies, is probably the best movie. Because even though I didn't care too much for the story, but his story was pretty simple and basic. So the comedic elements they added was still, you could get away with it. So I feel like
what they did was they put it in, you know, real life, like human life, but they added elements of the game to know you were, you know, to remember he was from the game and whatnot. And it worked. I think sometimes they try to sometimes they do one or two things. Like you said, they either, you know, go far away from the game where it doesn't even make sense, or they try to do like so close to the game, but they can't do it on screen. So it looks bad.
Right.
And stuff like that. So it kind of like Street Fighter, for example, they had all the same outfits. There's even a scene at the very end of the movie where they all are together and they all do their pose from the game when they win. Right. Like literally, the girl playing Chun-Li jumps up like Chun-Li does in the game when she wins.
Right.
And it's like, why would a human being just jump up like that? You know, just stuff like that. Or why would somebody just pose that way? You know, like it's weird. So it's like try to follow the game too much, it just looks stupid at the time. So.
Well, I mean, and again, that's why you never seen Wolverine running around in a, you know, a
yellow suit,
a blue and yellow, suit. You know, so they knew like, you know.
Yeah, you can be true without being true to know you're actually still trying to entertain. But they made a joke about that. Remember in the X-Men movie about like, how about a yellow suit? And he was like, nah, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
And even the fact that Hugh Jackman is 6'2", Wolverine's like 5'3" in the comic books, you know, it's like, oh, it doesn't really matter. He still could be Wolverine or whatnot. So Cool. I
Yeah.
just want to ask you that because you're a big game player. So I wonder.
Yeah, man, I never seen a video game movie where I was like, oh man, they got it right. I mean, I'll have to think really hard. I don't even they made a Tekken movie and that was so bad.
Yeah, Need for
Like it was just
Speed was
like,
horrible. I know people didn't
yeah,
like that.
yeah, they just never get it right. And it's
And
just
a lot of times they're late, like Need for Speed or like Sonic. I mean,
right,
Sonic, thank God, but Sonic came out 25 years ago. You know what
right,
I mean?
yeah,
Like, it's
yeah,
like, so some of the kids from this generation had never even played Sonic before. That were
right, yeah,
like, watching it. I think that's another reason why I didn't do it so true to the game because the kids just saw like a character rather than the game like we
right.
did kind of a little bit as well.
And
So
plus, I think if they really went based off of the game in the game world, see, here's the problem with video games. Video games are so imaginary and it can be cheesy, but in the game world, it's not cheesy because you're just playing it, right? But
right,
to put that stuff on screen, to have Sonic run around and where he lived at looks all weird and
yeah,
the little trees and you the beginning of the movie, you're just like, what am I watching?
yeah,
If but so the
yeah,
element for him to keep consistent is his speed, and they did that
yes,
well.
they did it well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's next on topic? That what we
So
got?
we might as well just go into this. Is kind of cool. What movie are we most excited to see? Like now that everything's been put on hold, we're waiting. We don't know what's coming out. What movie are we looking forward to seeing the most? Okay,
Um,
so I got mine.
so okay, go ahead. You can start.
So what I thought was cool about 2020, not anymore, or maybe realistically, was that 2020 had a really dark tone for like comic book movies. And
Yes.
so unfortunately 2020 is very dark. It has a
Right.
dark tone.
Right.
But I was like Morbius looked really cool. Like, oh man, it looks creepy cool.
Super
But
dope.
which one is it that I keep mixing the Eternals up and the
New
New
Mutants.
Mutants?
New
Is it the
Mutants is a
New
dark
Mutants
one.
where like
Yeah.
it almost looked like it's a horror movie?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
want to see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
That looks
my
pretty
most
dope.
anticipated movie that I have no clue what I'm going to see. But
Yeah. New Mutants. Hopefully, that movie has been cursed for so many years.
mm,
Um,
what they said, it was filmed in 2017, right?
it was filmed.
Or
Uh,
finished.
It was finished by it was filmed like 2016. It was finished by
Right,
2017.
right,
It's 2020. It's so old, like that. It's got Arya from Game of Thrones.
right,
She's in the movie. She looks so young in the movie
right,
compared to today, like the last season of Game of Thrones, because she done grew up since they filmed this movie or whatnot. So,
right.
when we finally watch this movie, it's gonna be like, wait, how old is this girl? You know what I mean? Like I just saw her have a sex scene in freaking Game of Thrones.
You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, which is funny because when that because of her height, off topic, but when that scene happened in Game of Thrones,
Right.
people were like looking up her age, coming to the director HBO like, why would you have a child having sex? She's like
Well,
21.
and think about for me, I literally binge watched it. So I like in my mind, I'm still like, whoa, how old is this girl? Because I watched it in back to back, back
Yeah,
to back. You know,
right.
yeah,
Yeah, and she's like 21, but it was funny because people were literally googling. She's like the most searched person for that next 3 days. Like, how old is she in real life? Nah, it's just funny how like your size can play a part with people, how people how old
that's
people think
crazy.
you
Yeah,
are and whatnot. But nevertheless, it's New Mutants does look pretty dope. Um, Tenet, of course, I just love Christopher Nolan. But I'm such a Marvel fan, man.
yeah.
Like I want to see Black Widow, man.
Okay.
I think one, because I'm a Marvel fan, two, because she's the last of the original Avengers.
Right.
So kind of be nice to see her little backstory a little bit, and whatnot. And I thought the trailers looked dope, especially the last two. Like I
Right.
thought it was kind of like Winter Soldiers to me. Winter
Right.
Soldier, it's like born a little bit. It's grounded. I like grounded Marvel movies where sometimes it's not so much of the superpowers like
Right.
Thor and stuff like that. It's like Winter Soldier, Captain America. So I like that. So that's probably my most anticipated. But I want to move forward. So I want to go from I want to say that as far as like on a bigger scale, but on a smaller scale, trying to think. I did have some. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I want to look at the clock. Um, they all are pretty big, I guess, to think about it. So yeah, I'll take a Black Widow.
Well, here's the funny thing is, before you said what you said, in my head, I literally was going to say, I definitely want to see it because it's part of the Marvel universe, and it does look pretty good. The trailer was really good, but I'm not as excited to see it because it's grounded. So I literally was going to say, it don't have enough super stock crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, that's you. Yeah, that's what you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the grounded stuff a little bit. I didn't realize I did either. So like, because I love Iron Man too. I mean Iron Man 2, stuff like that. But then Thor, not so much. He's got a lot of lore and powers, Odin and Loki and the whole thing.
Well, I
then
think my thing with Thor is it just didn't do it like how do I say this? So it's always a hurdle putting special effects and stuff. And like, so you take something like the Hulk, right? The Incredible Hulk, biasly, is my favorite Marvel movie, the one with Edward Norton, right? I feel like spot on. You got the good hero, you got what he's going through, you got the bad guy that seemed like he's just a little bit more powerful than him, crazy. How is he gonna beat him? That's my perfect movie. But the Hulk is pretty simple. His story, his putting on the screen, just this big dude. When you get into flying and electricity coming from a hammer, it's a lot more to do. Then you got Asgard. So I feel like Thor is one of those movies where you could make it not come across too good. Like, who's going to be his villain? And so I feel like maybe when Thor was introduced to everybody, it didn't come off smooth as an Iron Man did. Because again, Iron Man, to be honest, is more grounded. It's just
doing the suit. Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about the mystical. Your brain don't have to be like, what does Asgard look like? And how does he get from there to there? And he got Jotunheim and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But
even Doctor Strange, certain parts of that, I'm like,
it loses you a little bit.
Right. It loses you a little bit. Like, he's dope and everything, but when the worlds are flipping up and down and all these mystical things are going on, it's like it's
like you lost me 2 scenes ago.
Yeah, like 2 scenes ago. Like,
no, I agree.
Because I love Inception, right? I love the cinematography in Inception, but Doctor Strange is like Inception with powers. Right. There's like a lot going on.
It's like it's a little too much going on. Yeah. And you know what's cool? Doctor Strange was good. Like, it started off pretty good. Had a good origin, and but then it just, once he get his powers and the whole world, like, it was just so much going on. You had to figure out, okay, you had to remember, if you wasn't a comic book guy that was into Doctor Strange, because I was into comic books, but Doctor Strange, to be honest, he wasn't that popular. So you had to remember who this guy is, what his powers are, who's the villain, what's the twist. Like, it was just so much going on for a new IP, so to speak,
Yes, I agree. But at the same time, the screen is like flipping worlds, and also he's throwing out powers that are weird and stuff like that. It was just a lot. And I don't think, for me, I'm all about fight choreography when it comes to movies. Which is why I like grounded movies. So to me, even though he battles someone, I don't think those battle scenes, I'll say, were as good because of everything going on. Where like the Cat Winter Soldier fights were dope. You know what I mean? Almost
I think good old fashioned hand-to-hand combat is gonna be hard to beat. Like, even for me, even look at Top Gun, flying, shooting and dog fighting is cool, but good old fashioned hand-to-hand combat, I feel like that's, if you're looking for cinematic, choreographed, great battle scene, like, you just almost can't top something like that, hand-to-hand combat, man.
That's why I like Widow, because she's just pretty much hand-to-hand combat. She, what I mean, doing her thing or whatever. Even Iron Man, like, it's like not in Avengers, but if you go back to like his Iron Man 2, it's just other dudes with suits, and they're like shooting suits, lasers at each other and bouncing like that. It's not like good old-fashioned hand-to-hand combat. And Black Panther almost pulled it off, but the CGI was so bad that it ruined the hand-to-hand combat scenes. Plus, they were wearing the same suit. So again, I hate that too. Like, don't give me the same exact, suit and whatnot. Like, I hate that too. Like,
no, I totally agree.
Yeah, because now it's just like another version of the same outfit I've seen the whole time, and I got tired of that with the Marvel movies in general. Same thing with Ant-Man and the Yellow Jacket, but it's the same thing. Like, what was going on?
Yeah.
It's just stupid. So
Well,
that's so
at least they was on the same team.
yeah, but not the Wasp. I mean, the first movie when wasn't no Wasp and it was Ant-Man. The guy he fought was Yellow Jacket. It was just another
A guy.
ant that can get smaller. So it was
Okay.
the same exact tech, same suit.
Right.
Marvel was doing that for a minute. Iron Man, Ironmonger, blah, blah, blah. It just was like, so Cap kind of, flipped the mold because Winter Soldier was different. You were like, oh, he caught the shield. Remember, like you said, it was like a different situation.
That man, you listen, that trailer, when she
Right.
throw the shield and you see a hand catch it, you like, whoa, who caught the shield?
Right, exactly. Like, it's just it's different. So that's my most anticipated. What's next?
All right, so I don't know if you want to go into this because it is a little bit loaded, and I almost feel like this is a really good episode of our show if we kind of wrap it up soon. But what was next was reviewing movies or TV shows like Love Is Blind, The Tiger King, Breaking
So how
Bad.
about we save that until you finish Tiger King for the next episode?
Yeah, because my thing was I was gonna talk about like why people should watch Love Is Blind because you didn't see that, and then you could have talked about why some people should see Tiger King, but I'm watching it now, and we both seen Breaking Bad. But I feel like those three things, we could get talking if we're gonna do all three of them. I feel like we definitely could save that for another show. And like you said, I'll be done Tiger King by then.
How you liking it? I mean, without saying much, how you liking it so far, though? Don't say much about it. How you liking it so far?
Here's what's funny. You told me that it just at least get to episode 3. Right. Dude, I was sold by the half of episode 1.
Nice.
I was like,
okay.
Yeah, that's what I like stuff. So I like stuff like this. The funny thing is though, when you was telling me, I told you this is the thing with me. Some stuff visually, like I'm a trailers guy. I get mad if I go to movies and miss a trailer. So I love seeing trailers. That wasn't displayed to me to where my attention span said, I want to see that. So when you were trying to explain it to me and I'm showing you memes, making fun of the guy, you're like, dude, it's pretty good if you give it a chance. I'm like, nah, man, that just looks stupid. But that I like that type of stuff. It gives you a feeling like the ID channel type stuff.
Yeah, I love documentaries too.
Yeah,
and I didn't watch trailer either for this. Somebody told me about it, and I said, okay, I'll check it out.
Oh yeah, you did tell me.
Yeah, and it just happened to be.
So what happened to me was you said it was pretty good. I was like, and then I didn't realize weeks before you said that memes I was seeing was of him. So I had no clue. And then so many people's talking about it. I was like, okay, it's getting to the point where everybody's laughing, everybody's making a joke, and I'm like, all right, Mike's watching it because I trust your judgment,
Yes.
And I'm like, all right, now I gotta watch it. Like, think about it. You were the reason I watched all of Breaking Bad. Like, you literally put that out there and said, you know what, my boy Mike said I should check it out.
I never stood you wrong, and I told you Breaking Bad, like, got to get past that first season because and it happened to you too. You were like, yo, this first season's a little slow. I was like, I tried to tell you.
And isn't it strange? Typically someone say like one of the best things ever. My boy was watching Spartacus. I was like, I don't have no interest in that whatsoever. Seen the trailer, I like action, but I'm usually not into the back in the day stuff, right? Usually me, I like futuristic stuff, So he was like, dude, if you get to the third episode, it's great. He was right. But for somebody to say, if you get past the first season, it's like, wait a minute. Well, we'll watch a whole season for it to get good, but it was well worth it.
Yeah.
Well
we'll save it for the next for the next show. And you're going and also let's talk about your beard you got growing there. I watched the video.
Yeah. So I am telling the people that you see that?
Not really, but it's cool.
All right, whatever. You'll see it when it comes back.
I see it.
Yeah, so my whole thing is I got laid off on the 24th, and they said I don't have a job to come back to. So it might be some strings that could be pulled, but for right now, on face value, I don't have a job. So I told myself I am gonna let my beard grow until I go back to work. Now, this is the most hair I ever in my life had on my chin. Wow. So usually I'm more like I always have hair, but it's I trim it. So I am gonna keep growing it until I start working. So
Are you gonna dye it, or are you gonna keep it just with a little salt and pepper
I'm
going?
gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it like this, man.
All right, cool. Now
So
for me, it's helping out too because like I usually keep my beard around here, but I always want to grow it higher,
okay,
and I didn't because it doesn't grow as fast coming in
right.
here, and I want to stay sharp. So every time I go to the barbershop, I just say line it up. But now I got a reason just to let it grow. So
Yeah. Now here's my thing. All of this just grows in patches. So does yours get? Will it get full? Do you know?
it will get, if you can see it a little, can't really see it now, but see it normally here,
Okay.
but this is actually growing in now up
But
here. So
you think it's really gonna get full?
it depends on how long we out.
All right.
We'll see. So, but right now
Well,
it's coming in pretty, pretty
well,
decently.
I
So,
don't know, bro. You only got 20. You got only got 20 more days. So
well, California just added to the May 15th, so I'm pretty sure I'll be good or whatever.
well, when California see that the rapid decline in people being infected, they're gonna be like, you know what? I guess we can get back to work in 20 days.
Realistically, though, I'm still saying June at the most,
Okay,
but
June. No, you know what? Realistically, June would be so. Let's say by April, right? The end of April. Let's say May 1st. It's like, wow, the cases have been going down. Because the realism is, there's only but so many people in the like. You can like eventually the cases are gonna go down because everybody either gonna have got it or quarantined themselves enough to not get it, and the people who had it is gonna no longer have it. Like you can't feel like for the rest of our eternity, the case is going to keep going up. You don't have enough people. Like there's only but what 7 point something billion people, right? So
yeah, some people get immune to it, but it's only 400. No, I'm sorry. I think it's only in the United States it's like almost 500,000 now that's
okay,
got it. So we're far from
right,
what we got in the United States.
yeah,
California
but
got 40 million by itself, so that
right,
can actually get it. But you're right, the cases will go down, and I
right,
agree. Eventually, we will get out. The thing is that it's about life after, right?
right,
I don't know how long it'll be. I know you will be okay with it, but I don't know until we actually get back to
like the
actual
norm.
normal and
Yeah,
whatnot. Because I'm reading even like China, who's off the lockdown. Again, imagine again that took 76 days.
right,
And as I was telling somebody, like they were on a much stricter lockdown than we are right now.
right,
Like China was like people actually got off lockdown was like, yo, I finally see outside
right.
after 76 days. Like that's how they were. Like, oh my
I seen.
god.
I don't know if it was a meme or not, but I seen a funny thing that said in Russia they was gonna let go let 400 lions roam the streets so people wouldn't go outside.
It's hilarious.
Oh man.
So that was so that was out there. But and then I think it's South Korea maybe, but they're off, but they have limitations. They're like
Right,
there still can't be more than 500 people in a certain location
right.
outdoors. I think indoors is 100 people actually. That's that's half a movie theater. If
Yeah,
that, you know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
so movie tickets be selling quick. You can be like,
right, right.
man.
They'll be selling quick, and
Yeah,
then restaurants have to like lower the capacity, things of that nature. So
right.
people, I hope they understand when we do get off, there still may be certain restrictions that weren't in place
Yeah. Well,
before, but it'll be better than what it
we'll
is now.
see in 20 days or something like that. 19
Well,
days,
we'll
15
probably be
days.
on episode 4, 5 by then. So
Right.
I'll be happy to take my you were right. You are the guru.
Listen,
You are the man. I
now
want to get on that stuff.
listen, you let me know what to say because I'm gonna make a personal video saying, Mike, you were right. I'm gonna have a lot of people that's jealous. Like, I said you was right too. I'm like, nope. I said, listen, I think when I made my statement, I probably made it to you first. So I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
Mike, you were right. Come May 1st, if we still in our situation, making a
You know
video.
what? As I always say, I pray you are right. I hope you're okay
Yeah, yeah,
because
sure.
this, it's a new life. It's different,
I
but
mean,
it's
just look, my birthday's on Monday, and my wife's
yeah,
talking about for dinner, I could go and get you takeout.
yeah. And I would have loved to celebrate your birthday with you too,
Yeah,
man.
man,
And
it's a good time. It would have
there's
been cool.
people who I want to see, want to visit. There's
Yeah,
family members who I'm not seeing as much, stuff like that. So definitely, and just the people who are actually dying, around the
Yeah.
country. And, we're just looking at numbers sometimes, but it's just so much more. Like people are like parents, not like older parents, like 40-year-old or 35-year-old
Right.
parents are dying, and
Right.
kids are going to the system. There was like a single mom and stuff like that.
Right.
And now they're in foster, which is a whole nother thing. They have no family member. We're not even thinking
Right.
about that. So it's just a lot. So I pray it's over. But meanwhile, we gave you some stuff to watch during the quarantine.
Yep.
We talked about how Sly is better than Schwarzenegger during the quarantine. We can watch those movies.
I'm not sure if we touched that. I think we said Conan, Terminator, Predator. The list goes on. Was a lot
And
better.
all I gotta say is Rocky, right? So, but and we talked about Tony's beard. So we want to thank you guys for listening and watching.
That's right.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And here's the guys. Also share. Share. Share it to some people. Don't just be selfish and watch it or listen to yourself. Share it.
Yes.
Some people may find our content really enjoyable, especially in this time right now. So
thank you so much, guys. Mama Mike out.
All right, out.